and today I'll be explaining how to do a Part B titration in the simplest way possible. But before we begin, this titration requires the use of some pretty dangerous acids, so there are some safety regulations we must follow. Firstly, you must wear closed-toed shoes, you must keep your hair tied back, and you must wear goggles at all times. But the most important safety regulation is that you must pay attention and be extremely focused during the entirety of the lab. So, with that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the explanation, and let's get right into how to do a Part B titration. Firstly, you're going to want to gather all your materials necessary. Up first, you have your beakers. You have a 400 milliliter beaker and a 250 milliliter beaker. These will be used to hold your waste and your titrant. Be sure to label these two. Then you have your 250 milliliter Erlenmeyer flasks. This will be used to hold your Na2C2O4, your 75 milliliter of distilled water, and your 5 squirts of acid. These elements will be further explained during the procedure. The burette is an essential material that comes with a little more difficulty, so I wanted to explain it separately. Your burette is used to hold your titrant. The one key part you need to know before using your burette is how to work the stopcock. This is very simple. Just pull the lever towards you to open it and then away from you to close it. This allows the titrant to pass through. But before any chemicals can go into the material, we must first clean each beaker, flask, and burette. To do this is simple. You just need to rinse out the beakers and the flask. And then for the burette, we must rinse and coat the burette with a little titrant just to make sure no leftover water dilutes, or in simpler term, just messes with the titrant. Now this is where the fun begins, the procedure. I will explain each aspect of the procedure and how to set it up, starting with the burette. So, you are going to put the titrant into the burette until it gets to about 0.0 milliliter inside the burette. Be sure to put the burette at eye level before pouring the titrant into it so you can get as close to 0 as possible. Record the number you get because it will probably not be exactly 0.0 milliliters, and mark that as your initial volume in your notebook. We will now be moving on to the second aspect of the procedure, the 250 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. Firstly, weigh out 1 gram of Na2C2O4 and carefully pour it into your Erlenmeyer flask. Be careful because this is a powder-like substance and it is very easy to get everywhere. You are then going to add 75 milliliters of distilled water into your same Erlenmeyer flask. You will then shake until all the powder is completely dissolved into the water. Then you're going to add 5 squirts of acid from your given station into the Erlenmeyer flask using a pipette. Be careful while pouring because acid is extremely toxic. Afterwards, carefully shake your complete mixture. And just a disclaimer, this will get warm. Now we're moving on to where the actual titration occurs. Firstly, open your burette and pour some titrant into the flask. At first, your liquid will change to purple, but will fade with some shaking. Eventually, over time, your liquid will change color, but be careful because this can happen very quickly. So once you believe your titrant has been pouring for a long time, begin to close your stopcock and let it start to drip into the flask. Keep shaking while doing so you actually know when the color has fully changed. Once your liquid changes color, record the amount of titrant left in the burette and mark it as your final result. Once you have finished one procedure and noted everything down, pour your Erlenmeyer flask into the waste bin and then rinse it out. You will then repeat the procedure until 3 of your trials are within 0.5 milliliters of each other. This is so that you are the most precise when it comes to your results. And then finally, once all your procedures are done and everything is noted down, you're going to clean up. This means to put all your liquids into the designated waste bins and then rinse all your materials and make sure to put them away where they belong.